We are. Can you guys hear me?
No.
In the headset?
In the speaker?
No, I can't hear me either. What's happening?
Oh no.
Oh no.
I hear some. I mean, it's just like coming, but
Oh, I'm super smart.
there we go.
Have you heard of a mute button? Because I haven't, apparently. We are officially live. I'm going to swap these camera batteries, and then we're going to start. We're already very late, so I just want to jump on so it's official. But give me 2 seconds, and then we're actually going to kick off into, like, 1 minute. 1 minute, and then I got to get you those plugins, yeah. Let's do this. Like in an action film, you know? Tim, do you want to? Yeah, you can sit up here. There's someone there. I mean, he's an adorable puppy. Carl is an adorable puppy.
Yeah, but I don't want him on here.
I mean, Carl's gonna sit there and just pout.
Well, he's whining. That's why I'm saying that. But I don't want him in your.
Oh no, it's fine. No, it's fine. It's fine. He's in there. What's wrong with that?
You want to open it just like slightly open it so Tim can sit back. Don't say anything. Don't let Carl stay in bed. Tim, come here. Right here. Right on the bed. Come on, Tim. Oh, you can come on here, but you come here. Oh, Carl's up.
Carl has proven inability to stay in the seat. So Carl has lost his health.
Such a cute
He
puppy.
wants so badly to say hi to everybody.
Yeah, I smell like the 5 dogs we have at the house. And a cat.
And a cat.
She keeps them all in check.
What kind of dog?
Couple sheepdogs, golden retriever, Jack Russell,
That's a very different size.
mutt sorta, and then a rat terrier chihuahua.
Yeah. He's like, and I haven't even told you about our penguin.
For legal reasons.
It's like, you're like the real Ace Ventura. You've got,
Animals of the house, lend me your ears.
yeah. Where's that thing? He's like, come to me, my jungle friends, and everybody starts flying over. Oh man, we are officially live. We're gonna drop off. We got a little front bumper action going, and we're gonna drop right off into camera 1, which is gonna start very shortly. And by shortly, I mean 3, 2, 1. We are on Scott Rives. Hell yeah. Thank you so much for doing this, man. This is absolutely wonderful. I am so happy that you're here. Scott Rives joining us for the officially episode 40. 40, not 14. 40. Wild. Absolutely wild. I thought I was going to do this maybe once a weekend. And then here we are. And I keep getting to meet awesome musicians like yourselves. How many songs did you bring for us this evening, my friend?
I have prepared 7 songs.
7 songs. Oh, this thing's skipping. What's happening with this? There we go. Sorry about that. The camera was caught on a thing. You have 7 songs for us. What is the title for the first song that you're going to sing for us, my friend?
So the first song that I'm going to sing for you is Some Other Day.
Some Other Day. Is there anything we should know about Some Other Day before we get kicked off?
Absolutely. It is essentially my first single release. It is available on all streaming platforms.
And I do have your just in the description, your Spotify in there as well. So
Yeah.
artists can find that. Please go follow him on Spotify. It's very important for the artist. So can they find the song on your Spotify?
They sure can.
Hell yeah. Awesome. Oh, sorry, I cut you off. What else would you like us to know about Some
No,
Other Day?
that's pretty much it. That's kind of that's really the song that gave me the bug to start doing a lot of other things. It's something that I wrote a long time ago, and it's funny. I spent 2.5 years working on that song in the studio, and it was really my first real studio experience in Austin, Texas, and worked with a number of incredible musicians on that song. And it's funny to play the bare bones of it is always something special because I know where it started and I know where it is now, and it's, you know, fun journey.
Hell yeah, man. All right, over to you for Some Other Day, whenever you're ready.
Cool. I felt my fingers slipping for the longest time. Well, I'm trying to ignore it, but I've seen the signs. Just trying to tell myself that everything's okay, that I'll fix it tomorrow, somehow, some way. Well, love will be back, your heart under attack. Another day, some other day. Love will be back, your heart under attack. Another day, some other day. I've seen it in her eyes and the way she talks to me. There's a fading in her smile, a damper insincerity. There's a shuffle in her priorities. Maybe I'm just losing my mind. She seems not to want me. Well, love will be back, your heart under attack. Another day, some other day. Love will be back, your heart under attack. Another day, some other day. Love will be back, your heart under attack. Another day, some other day. Love will be back, your heart under attack. Another day, some other day. Let her go, she don't love you anymore. Set her heart free so that she can be happy. Well, I know it hurts, but pain ignites a flame that pushes you on further and further every day. So don't weep today, my friends, because for you this is not the end. Take some time to find yourself. You've been lost in someone else. Love will be back, your heart under attack. Another day, some other day. Love will be back, your heart under attack. Another day, some other day. Love will be back, your heart under attack. Another day, some other day. Love will be back, your heart under attack. Another day, some other day.
Hell yeah, man. Thank you, buddy.
Yeah.
What is that song about? That song seemed somewhat serious.
It's more or less the clarity of moving on from a relationship.
Can you talk about, is this a personal relationship, or do you write from like this perspective of somebody else's thing?
It very much was a personal relationship. You know, I don't want to throw names around at this particular moment.
We
But
don't need addresses or anything.
Yeah, no, this was years ago, and you know, it very much was. It was, you know, it's, you know, you. It's easy to lose yourself sometimes in relationships. You know, whether it's romantic or platonic, and you know, I guess to say, it's hard to see it sometimes, because I think that it really hurts when you have your heart broken in the beginning. But you know, it's that pain that, you know, lets you know that it was, you know, something real, something something that was good for you, good for your growth, and coming to just the acceptance that it could happen again. You know, I think it's really hard to see what could be next, you know, when you're going through something like that. But I think some people hold on to things sometimes in an unhealthy way.
Yeah, everyone's guilty of that.
You know, sure.
Myself
you know,
included.
And it's kind of letting go and not just allowing yourself to move on, but allowing somebody else to do the same.
How long ago did you write this song? You said it was one of your originals that got you the first song that got you in studio. Do I remember that right?
Yeah.
Okay.
What
was that?
This was the song that I pitched to my buddy when I was, you know, I was like, man, I really want to get into this studio. I had another buddy that was recording and was like, this is the guy you got to go and talk to. And shout out to Sebastian Cure.
You beat me to it. Yeah, I was going to say, who was your buddy? Yeah. This was the gentleman you met who's in.
Yeah.
Or you mentioned rather. When
He's
we were talking
in
about.
Colombia.
Colombia.
He's got a studio out there, and hoping to get down there. And whenever I start busting out a bunch of new songs,
Hell
and
yeah, dude.
And that'll be a lot of fun.
Colombia is in the country, right? We're not talking about like okay.
Correct.
Like a
The
county.
country.
Okay,
Yeah, no,
or
I
a
know,
city
right?
within the United States. It's like, no, he's actually.
Columbia, New Jersey.
There's a Paris, Texas, man. It could happen.
No, I know. It's
So people might be like, how many hours to Colombia? It's many. If you're going to the country, it's many.
What is that?
Where in Colombia is he like? Do you know the city?
I want to say Barranquilla.
Barranquilla. Okay, I have zero idea of where that is. Is that near Bogota? It's the only place.
I want to say it's closer to Medellin.
Medellin. Ooh, okay.
I know,
Yeah,
right?
there you go.
We
That
all
place.
know. Dare we say anymore?
It's a sordid history of the Medellin. That's awesome, man. So he helped you get this into the studio, or was it his studio that you recorded in?
It was his studio that
Okay.
I recorded it in, and you know, it very much was. You know, it's like, what do you want to do with this? You know, what do you want to do? I mean, you know, the question is like, where do you see yourself? Are you doing this as a hobby?
Right.
Are you doing this because it's something that you love and want to continue to do? And I'm like, that one.
Yep.
You
Second
know?
one.
Yeah.
Second one, the main thing. Have you recorded any more songs with him, or was it just the one?
No. Every song that I'm going to play for you tonight has, well, every song except for one
Okay.
has been recorded with Sebastian. It just hasn't. I've only released one. Well,
You-
technically two. You'll see two on my Spotify.
Wait, how many songs have you recorded with Sebastian?
Originals?
Originals.
Or just in general?
Let's do originals, because
Originals?
might be more interesting.
7.
7, and you've only released one.
Yes.
Okay. Or is there a plan to release? Or was this recent? Or is this,
There's absolutely a plan.
Okay.
You know, the plan is, you know, do stuff like this, you know, raise awareness for, you know, what I'm doing and collaborating with other artists and, you know, continue to invest in the scene.
Yeah, man.
And I mean, just uplift each other. It's never one person by themselves. It's, you know, it's a group of people, you know, that are just feeding off of each other and motivating each other and pushing each other to, you know, to better themselves, better their craft. I love this scene out here in Austin, Texas. I'm from South Carolina, so it's cool to be a part of just this massive scene of so much music.
It's pretty amazing down here. Do you know Kelsey Hudgens by chance? He's from the Carolinas. He's also a stand-up comedian. He's actually guest hosting on the show next Saturday.
Sounds really familiar.
He's amazing. He's really
Where
funny.
in South Carolina?
That's such a good question. And if I was a really good host and good at my job, I'd remember. But I can't remember off the top of my head. But he's from either North or South Carolina. But he's a very funny guy and also a great lyricist. And I feel like, not that everybody in North and South Carolina, like we don't all know each other. So it's,
you know. I'm from Myrtle Beach, South Carolina.
oh, he had a song about Myrtle Beach. I for sure feel like you guys have to have met. And if you
It's good material, Myrtle Beach.
if you don't, if you don't know each other, you guys should absolutely know each other. Like he's a phenomenal human being, really good dude, very talented lyricist. What got you to music? Can I ask maybe a banal question, but something I would love to hear an answer to?
So there wasn't always music necessarily in the house as much as it was in transit. You know, there's so many mornings kicking it with my mom, listening to golden oldies. You know, Sam Cooke,
Sam
Marvin
Cooke.
Gaye, Otis Redding,
Hell yeah, man.
The Supremes, Ray Charles.
Sam and Dave.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. All the good stuff. And then, you know, I had always just kind of had this personality where I'm singing to myself and I'm doing things and then I sing, choo, you know, like I can't help myself. And then when I was about 19 or 20 years old, I had been hanging out with quite a few people that had just grown up in music and in bands. And, you know, so there was always equipment and someone to jam with and hanging around. And then one day they booted their frontman out of the band. And then I guess everybody got together and was like, you know, Scott's got a good voice. We should call Scott. And I remember being at my, like, parents' house where I lived.
How old were you when this happened?
19.
You were 19. Okay.
And I had just dropped out of community college and was just like I gave it the old college try and was just it wasn't so much that I was like not a fan of learning. I love to learn, but I think that school has always been very difficult for me.
It's an odd pace because everybody learns at very different pacing. And
Yeah.
so sometimes it could be a little slow or maybe too fast, and then all of a sudden you're either ahead or left behind, and then you start doing other things to make yourself entertained. I know I did, and it got me in a shitload of trouble. In fact, I got thrown out of a couple schools, so there's that, if that's a surprise judging on how I look. But sometimes you can judge a book by its cover. It's a thing that happens. People will get bored, and they'll make a way to entertain themselves. I get it.
Yeah, it's, they had essentially called me up. We'd all been hanging out and, drinking and smoking weed. Can I say weed?
You can. It's the internet show. I don't think yours. We don't have like a
Weed. Are you smoking yet?
It is a live stream. I don't censor the show. I do list that it's not made for kids, so I don't think this should like show up in any kids' feeds. And if it does show up in a child's feed, I'm very sorry. But
Children, stay in school.
stay in school. Don't do what we did. But maybe, depending on if you want. I'm kidding. Don't do drugs. But go back to what you were saying. So school was boring, and you left. You got bounced. What happened?
No, I left. You know, and it wasn't. You know, I just remember being very overwhelmed. I had enrolled in like tutoring after school. I was going to get tutored just to finish my homework. It was a struggle just to stay organized and do all this stuff. And then I was constantly falling behind, and I was only taking like 3 classes.
Is this something that has always been like that, or are there certain things that you're really good at, but just not necessarily with school?
Yeah. That's pretty much what it was. You know, I would excel in certain subjects, and then the other ones, it was just like, meh.
Yeah.
Which evidently you kind of need the whole gang to get things going. You know?
Allegedly.
Yeah.
Allegedly. I know. Look, I mean, there's a lot of very successful people that did not do well with formal education, and they made it all right.
No, I got an Albert Einstein card up my sleeve for any time that sort of conversation arises. I'm
Hell
like,
yeah.
well, and I'm not coming up with a theory of relativity anytime soon because it already exists. Then again,
Which is actually the name of your next song, which is The Theory of Relativity.
theory of relativity.
Did I get that right? I'm going to guess this one of these times. I've gotten really close at guessing a couple times where it's like very close. Actually, the show with Yonder, he was talking about Myrtle Beach, and I was like, do you have a song about Myrtle Beach? And he actually did. It was called Myrtle Beach. Was it called Myrtle Beach? I don't remember what it was called. It was something like that.
Yeah.
What is the next track you're going to play for us, Numero Dos?
I got a
extent of
set
my
list written
Spanish.
down.
Hell yeah, let's do it.
It's going to be a song called Gardens and Graveyards, which, if it wasn't a singer-songwriter song, would have been a great name for a pop-punk band.
Gardens and Graveyards is a great name for a song. We have to. We tried to have one of our dogs out here. Had to eject him. He was causing problems. Do you want to try the other dog? Okay, no more dogs. All right. And then we have a guest with us this evening, correct?
We do.
Yeah, let's do that. Let's get our guest out here.
I have brought my friend Nicole Ridgewell of Cast Iron Shoes.
Hell yeah. Wait, I have to switch something. I just realized something very
Rescue Rangers.
Nicole, can you
We're
give us a
getting
little
some-
volume on that microphone? Oh, no, on your microphone. Can you say hi? Just a hello?
Hi.
Wait, can you give it more?
Hello.
I'm not getting volume on you for some reason. Try it again.
Hello.
There we go. Now I can hear you. All right. Good to see you again.
Good to see you too.
Nicole Ridgewell from Cast Iron Shoes was on the show with us previously. I think it was like episodes 9 or something. You did a full LP.
It's an early one.
It was awesome.
Yeah.
It was really good. Thank you for coming back and helping young Scott with this music.
So
What is the second track you're going to play for us?
This track is called Gardens and Graveyards.
Gardens and Graveyards. That's right. You did say that, and I forgot to write it down. I've got a goldfish brain. Gardens and Graveyards. Whenever you guys are ready, over to you.
Tired eyes and no place to hide. I found a bit of sunlight. I began to rise. Trapped between the walls of evil and good, trying it's just like gardens in graveyards, flowers on a weary stone. Gardens and graveyards, welcome to my home. Stuck in a tomb, save my soul. Well, I'm about to lose control. All my mind's escaped once again. The room is spinning, devil's on my back, and he's just grinning, and I'm not alone. Under this stone, all my vines have grown, and I'm prone to live this way. Retake my throne, all my sins and blessings I will atone. It's just like gardens in graveyards, flowers on a weary stone. Gardens and graveyards, welcome to my home. Cheap thrills, cold chills, paying bills, this is my will. Dirty room consumed, good tunes, this my room. It's just like gardens in graveyards, flowers on a weary stone. Gardens in graveyards, welcome to my home.
Hell yeah. That was awesome, man. Thank you for sharing that. How did you guys meet? Did you just meet in the scene out here, this wonderful scene that we keep talking about?
In a sense, through a friend of a friend.
Yeah,
And
Brian
then-
introduced us, right?
Yeah. Was my roommate.
Okay.
I met his roommate in a riverbed
In a riverbed.
while it was raining.
Okay. Well, was there not enough water, or did you need more if you were in it while it was raining?
Well,
Or is it for the drama of the rain?
It's like
oh,
a
well, I was
Led
so-
Zeppelin music
I was-
video, right?
I was taking my dog on a walk, and it was raining, and
Dog named
I'd-
Rosie.
Yes, Rosie, and I'd taken my shoes off to get down the riverbank because it was muddy. So I was just like standing in the river with no shoes, and then I met his roommate Brian, who was also, I think, just there to stand in the river in the rain. And then Brian told me that Scott was hosting an open mic, which he hosts every week at Black Star Co-op.
Yeah, every Thursday from 7 to 9.
Wait, tell us again. I didn't have that on camera you said it before I switched cameras. Say it again.
Oh, yeah. Every Thursday every first, second, and third Thursday from 7 to 9, I host a singer-songwriter open mic at Black Star Co-op. And at the end of the month, I do a showcase, which you have been to both.
Yes, so that was So so I think I went to your open mic, and then you said to come back for a showcase, which I guess meant that he didn't think that I sucked.
Is that, I feel like that you wouldn't have gotten an invite.
I would have not gotten the showcase.
Yeah, I feel like
Well, I don't know. Maybe.
No, it's you know, the showcases are very much for folks that, you know, like, as much as you practice, like, you can tell when someone's been practicing. You can tell when somebody's been, you know, on their stuff and playing lots and this and that. It's just something that, like, when you're doing it all the time, you don't think twice about it. And a lot of folks, it's just the same way. And I know where I was, you know, when I first got the courage to get up on stage and do something.
When was that? When was that first time? Would you remember the song and the place?
Fifth grade spelling bee. So as far as like original music goes, it was
5th grade spelling bee.
Was that the name? That was the name of the song. Was 5th grade spelling bee?
What?
And are you playing it tonight?
I mean, I also love making stuff up off the top of my head, so that's always
Don't
fun.
tempt him with a good time.
I know, right?
This could be a challenge. This could be the first time a song's ever been made up on the spot and played live. This could be
Right.
tonight.
It's called The National Treasure, and I just keep Nicolas Caging everybody out of this. It's just where you just take a random object, and then it just somehow segues into another sort of, you know, it's
Ex
the
Machina.
proverbial YouTube rabbit hole.
There you go. Yeah, it's just the nick of time to solve the problem that you were hoping to solve. So wait, so what was the first time that you were on stage? It was
First time
For
that I
original
was
music.
on stage, I want to say, goodness. I used to play between some friends' shows, like during their sets and whatnot. But the first time that I really like got up on stage in front of people was at an open mic at a place called Fresh Brewed Coffee House back in Myrtle Beach, and oh goodness, I can't remember who was hosting it.
Do you remember the song?
It was a song it was like one of the first songs that I ever wrote. And I had what is called shaky leg syndrome, where your nerves don't really know where to go. And because I had a leg hanging off the chair, it was just
Vibing.
I'm just gonna play a song and it goes like this. Yeah, it was epic, but I kept coming back, and I know where, you know, I've had a lot of folks where it's been like, this is my first time on stage. I normally play by myself and this and that. And for some folks, you know, writing and playing your songs is a very personal thing. And it's not always meant to be shared with the world. And I know some people like that. They're just like, I don't play these songs for anybody but me and maybe a few select people. And I get that. You know, I mean, there's plenty of.
Do you have songs like that?
No,
No. Okay.
not necessarily. No.
Okay. Fair enough.
No.
I was like, would you play one of those songs?
I know, right?
You mentioned that last time that you sang previously in a band. You were asked to be the front man. What was the band and what was the genre of the music?
We had a sound, but we did not filter as far as genres go. So we called ourselves a punk metal band.
Okay.
We had a lot of fun with it. The drummer, it was essentially his band. He was, he had been in a band his entire life with his brothers. And it was one of those things where he was...
Is this Van Halen?
Right? No. I mean, they were...
All right, sorry, I was a really dumb music joke.
Wait, is this Brian?
No. But Brian did introduce me to all of those fellas.
And was it in a band with his brother? Right.
No, it wasn't Brian or his brother. It was our
Too many
homie.
brother band.
Our homie Joe Duvall, and then he was in a band with his brothers David and Patrick. Patrick's in Germany right now. David just graduated UT with his bachelor's, and he told me once, and I don't remember.
Okay.
But at the time, I know Joey was just looking for something to just kind of be creative without having to, collaborate with folks that he's collaborated with his entire life. And so he wanted to soil his creative oats, per se. I sounded so weird. I don't say stuff like that.
That was a very odd. That was a very odd way to say that, man. It's just. I'm gonna write that down. Soil creative oats. Soil creative oats.
Got to tend to the oats, right?
Got to tend to those oats.
And it was really cool. We just sat around smoking and just writing songs on sometimes just paper plates. There's definitely a couple songs that I still remember off the top of my head.
Hell yeah, man. By the way, Sometimes on Paper Plates would make a great album name.
Sometimes on Paper Plates.
That's a great album name.
I like it.
Is that-
Sometimes on Paper
Noted.
Plates by The Weather Report.
What is the name of your album that you have coming out on Spotify? Do you have a name yet?
Probably be self-titled.
Okay, fair enough.
But that's not true. That's just to keep everybody in suspense because I haven't come up with it yet.
Well, Sometimes on Paper Plates is
Sometimes
open.
on Paper Plates. I love that too.
It's oddly awesome. I don't know. As soon as you said it, I was like, ooh, album name, total album name.
I say a lot of stuff.
Which is the third song of the evening.
is the-
A lot of stuff.
I told you I was going to be Nicolas Cage in this thing.
What is the third track for this evening?
The third track for this evening is going to be You're Not There.
You're Not There. All right, over to you guys for You're Not There whenever you're ready.
This is going to be a finger-picky song. Well, the sun faded away and a storm set in. Took us all by surprise. Had your time cut short, set our lives aflame. There are some who still bear the scars. Where'd the time go since you left me? Were you happy? Were you proud? Now you're someplace far away. I had a few more things to say. Yeah, Mama, you're not there, and the only one that cares is that he said, I am bruised, I can't heal. You probably say it's no big deal, but I feel the last thing that I did was let you down. Let you down. Scared holding my drink, my world it starts to shrink behind a tiny cloud that always blocks the sun. Think about you every day, the pain is here to stay. So I'll take a sip and fall asleep. Hope to see you before I wake. And mama, you're not there, and the only one that cares is a rolling stone that thinks about the last thing that he said. I am bruised, I can't heal. You probably say it's no big deal, but I feel the last thing that I did was let you down. Let you down, let you down, let you down. And mama, you're not there, and the only one that cares is a rolling stone that thinks about the last thing that he said.
Wow, man. Holy shit, that was a powerful song. That was phenomenal. That was a phenomenal song. What was that about? That was very heavy.
That was for a very good friend of mine. That lost his mother a few years ago. It's different having the violin on it. That was great. When I first wrote that song, it used to make me cry, and I'm definitely like in my feels right now.
Dude,
Like,
amazing, amazingly powerful powerful song.
But no, I woke up at 4 a.m. and I was thinking about him. I was thinking about her, and it's really just about, I have a few friends that feel like they didn't get to say goodbye properly to their folks, and I think that's such a sensitive thing for a lot of folks.
Mm.
I'm sure I would feel one way about it, but it's just one of those things where I think it's unfortunate when those loved ones can't be there to tell you, dude, I don't want you feeling that way.
Yeah.
I don't want you going on like that. Like I love you, and I want you to feel that. I want you to know that. And I think some folks, struggle to grasp that. No, I should have done this. It should have been perfect because now I don't have another chance. And, I think my buddy still really beats himself up hard about that, but you know, it's a double-edged sword. You know, it's grief takes many forms.
Sure does. Sure does, man. I lost my mother a couple years ago. It sucked really bad. It's not awesome. That was the first thing I was thinking about when you were talking about that, where you were singing the song rather. Was that in particular? I was like, dude, this is an amazingly powerful song that thank God I didn't hear any time close to when I lost her. I'd be a fucking mess right now. Like that was an amazingly beautiful song. I mean, absolutely phenomenal song. When it first started playing, I wrote down Yellowstone vibes because I was like, it's so dramatic, and it's just like such a beautiful sounding song. And the more it went on, it's like, oh, this is not necessarily like an ethereal outdoor space. This is more of like very appointed or very poignant personal space. But like that's the type of. It's funny. We have artists come on the show and they talk and I keep saying talk. They play. I can speak. I fucking promise. They play music and it paints a very like cinematic picture in my head of when some songs are playing. And it's like, oh my God, like this would be amazing to underscore something like that, which is so serious and heavy, but it's an odd thing to say, but like in a positive way, in a moving way, to something that's so heavy. As your friend heard the song?
Yes.
Does he know that you wrote it for him?
Kind of. He was drinking a good bit that night.
Yeah.
And it was one of those things where I just, you know, you know, being sober now over 2 years from alcohol, it was like going home sober was a wild thing because I used to paint that town red, and now it was just like a lot of folks that I used to see, you know, like my buddy would do a shot and he'd hand me like a shot of water. He's like, I got you. I'm like, you're a sweetheart, you know. And I remember when we were leaving the bar, I was like, hey man, you know, you look like you really tied one on. How you getting home? And just like the most Myrtle Beach sounding answer, I was like, I'm gonna do what I gotta do. I'm like, wrong answer, get in the car. Wrong answer, get in the car. I'm just down the street. Yeah, I know. That's why you're gonna get in the car with me. Come on, let's go.
That's all. Well, isn't that the statistic? Is that the most accidents happen within like 100 yards or something crazy within your house, where you're like, oh, it's like something happens in the brain. You go, oh, I'm safe.
Like
I'm
a
home.
shield that comes down. You're like, I'm good.
Yeah, and then all of a sudden you're, you know, wrapped around a tree. Thankfully you took your friend home. You said you've been sober for about 2 years now. Can I dig into that a little bit more if that's not too uncomfortable?
No, it's you know. Plain and simple, bad habits that caught up and started to affect my singing voice to where it had essentially gone. I spent months on just trying to trial and error, trying to figure things out. This is at a time where I had a job, I had health insurance, so I was very lucky to be able to kind of exhaust some of those benefits and go and see like an ENT and a gastrointestinal or a gastro doctor and all this stuff that you know, just to kind of figure out what was going on. So I did a lot of research and I did a lot of trial and error, just cutting things out of my life, figuring things out, and figured out that the problem that I was having was essentially just GERD, which is a reflux, chronic reflux situation, and I have like a hiatal hernia. So a lot of the stuff that supposed to be kept down there ends up coming up on like a fuller stomach, or if I eat the wrong thing, and that starts to make my esophagus raw, and it can affect a lot of things, and absolutely like even my chest and everything. And I was like, an ultimatum just fell on my lap. It's like, dude, are you gonna continue to do what you're gonna do, or are you gonna buckle down and start, you know? And one domino I don't say a domino, but well, yeah, they say one fell and the rest started falling. As far as just kind of getting it together, because I mean, I'm not I'm not doing anything perfectly by any means, but I absolutely have to watch what I eat, how much I'm eating, when I'm eating. I don't drink coffee, carbonated anything.
Carbonated beverages mess you up?
Carbonated beverages.
Oh, wow.
Because when I go to sing, when I'm putting it all out there, you end up with these little, almost like little burp bubbles that start to come up, and those are no bueno for a vocalist.
No, they're not. I'm lucky. I have a mute button right here. I just keep spamming every time I have some indigestion. So that's a real thing. You can't hear me. It's great. I love it. Yeah, if you're singing, I imagine that'd be very difficult. Was it just singing specifically that drove you to that? No other life events?
Pretty much. I mean, it was.
Well, outside like the misery, I guess, of the reflux.
I mean, in a sense, like, I had been manifesting, trying to just kind of like, all right, I gotta, I'm doing a lot of celebrating and not a lot of this. And as somebody who's just gets easily distracted, it was pretty much wild how much space and time just was freed up just from not doing that anymore. Like, I think that the first 9 months, it started off like the first 3 months, no alcohol. You're just like, yeah, it sucks. Oh, you're not drinking? Yeah, it blows. I hate it. I know, right? It's stupid. It sucks. Then after that, it started to just be like, I'm like, no, I'm just not drinking right now. Then I started to just kind of like, okay. But then it was just like a big, like, mind fuck. Like,
Sobriety's crazy.
It was, yeah, it got really real. And after like that 9 month mark, it felt like I just kind of like busted out of like a shell or something. Like it's wild. That's a whole perspective. Everything just started to kind of change. And but more importantly, it just felt like I was a lot more present.
Yeah, well, yeah. If you're not blacking out, that's.
Yeah, I mean, it wasn't.
Not that you were blacking
no,
out.
No, like,
but,
and it wasn't even that. It was just, it had just become a norm. It's like, and I worked at breweries and bars. I mean, one of the things working I've worked in the service industry since I was 15 years old. And one of the biggest things was just letting some steam off, going out there. And I don't think there's anything wrong. Like, indulge. If it would just bring me more trouble if I were to just, like, no, I'll just do a little bit here, a little bit there. I'm like, no, because I know myself. I'd be like, well, we're going to have some weekends and then it'll be the only thing I can think about because I'm like, I have so much fun. But I have to find, I mean, I've just come up with other ways to enjoy myself.
Is it? Can I ask you? Is it fun or is it distraction? Because I struggled with some very heavy drinking in a very unhealthy way for a long time, and then got sober for almost a year. And then I noticed like the whole thing about being present. Absolutely, I had a really hard time being in like bars because I was like, this is fucking miserable. I can only be here if I'm drunk.
My first year of sobriety, I spent working at a brewery. Cleaning beer lines, like everything. I had access to all the. I mean, we could take home as cases. We took home. I mean, it was taken home. At one point, we had some 12 packs expire, and I took home 24 free cases of craft beer.
A lot of beer.
A lot of beer. We built a throne in the kitchen out of beer. Yeah. If you guys have never had that much beer, you can build a throne out of it. Free beer, that is. It was fantastic.
Did you sit in the throne? Were you like on the throne of the? Or did
no, but I did fill my Honda Civic with 24 cases of beer and drove home. That was interesting. Holy crap!
Sober, of course.
I can neither confirm nor deny my state
what he
at the
had to
time.
do.
I did what
Did what you had to do, man. You get
No.
those 24 cases have to
no.
get back to the house somehow. You got to get them back somehow. I totally get it.
my own words.
Don't drink and drive. Don't drink and drive.
Don't do that.
Don't do that. It's fucking stupid. But I'm glad you found a constructive way to deal with these things rather than a destructive.
No, for sure. I mean, it just as much as it was like, you know, the whole. I realized I was using that to cope with other things, and
Sure.
you know, and for which, you know, I had been going to therapy, and I continue. I've been going to therapy now for like say like 4.5, 5 years, where I go every single week, and that's been huge. It has been huge. Thank you, Cap Area Counseling.
There you go. Is it specific?
Yeah, it's specifically for Travis County, Austin area. So if you are struggling with your mental health and you would like to see a therapist, Cap Area Counseling has been great.
Hell yeah, man.
You know,
Can you do me a favor? Can you get me that information, and so I can put it in the description after
Absolutely.
Because I think we talk about this with a lot of artists, and this is a thing that does pop up, and drugs, alcohol, addiction of all kinds. And sometimes it's nice to be able to have somebody else to talk to. It's always a thing where you're like, I got this, I can do it. But sometimes you fucking can't, and that's okay. It doesn't make you weak. It just sometimes you need a helping hand to get past something.
it's as much talking as it is having somebody to hold you accountable for the things that you're saying. You know, otherwise it's so easy to just,
Yeah.
you know, be doing the same thing over and over, expecting a different result.
Isn't
you know?
that the definition of insanity?
It is the definition of insanity.
Which
Brings us to our next song.
definition of insanity. You fucker. You beat me to it. All right. Not the next song, but what is the next song called? One of these days I'm going to nail this.
The next song is called 16 Horses.
16 Horses. All right. Over to you guys for 16 Horses whenever you're ready.
I start this song different every time. Normally with absolute malarkey.
Let me tune to malarkey real fast.
Yeah! I was riding 16 horses down the darkest road I thought I'd ever seen. I was headed for a tunnel that the locals believe could go on for weeks. Now a wise man, he once said that the day is always darkest for the dawn. But the devil ate the sun, and no one but yourself can save you from the depths. Talking to and shouted to my steeds, pleasure's mine. Then I cracked my dad's old whip and swore the demon's name at least 4 or 5 times. Really tempted, tortured, tussled with the teachings, lessons, morals in my mind. He combated me with terror, lost, broken-hearted, fortunes compromised. mind thinks he's gonna break my stride. After a few exhausting weeks in that tunnel, oh, I'd find the light of day. Feeding on my demons, they come back to me another day.
Hell yeah. Dude, what a fun song. What a fun song. I felt like that was the song to hit this fog machine. Did I make the wrong call?
No, for sure.
Right.
Absolutely.
Just a little bit of fog. Not the when we were doing the mic check, I might have put a little too much fog in there. Slightly too much fog. Also a great name for an album. Slightly too much fog.
Slightly too much fog.
What was the what a great lyric you had in there at one point. The devil has too much pride. That was fucking dope, dude. What was that from?
What do you mean?
Well, like where does that lyric come from? What is what was that song about that would have popped into your head?
You know, that whole song is just essentially about seasonal depression, you know? I mean, it's very much like entering a tunnel with no way out, and you just have to kind of know that, you know, as they say, the light can't exist without the darkness.
Isn't that weird?
Yeah.
Isn't that a weird thing?
Yeah.
We always talk about like we should have more good in the world, but you can't really have it without the shitty things. It's wild.
Yeah.
It's not awesome. Wish it wasn't the case, but it is kind of the thing.
Yeah. It's
Awesome would not exist without not awesome.
Exactly.
it's true.
Exactly. Like everything's defined by its opposite in kind of in a way. So it's like left without right, right without left, up without down. Like how do you have awesome without not awesome? Or in this case of a much heavier topic, good without evil.
I always saw that song as like some sort of claymation music video sort of strange thing, just like 16 horses of just clay and someone's just riding through a storm, and then there's just the recording itself is very much like almost kind of like a spaghetti western sort of vibe.
Very much.
And
Especially with the whistling.
Yeah. And it's hey, you know, sometimes you don't have to ride a hook. You can just whistle.
You just whistle. Also marks this is the second time in 40 episodes we've had someone whistle during a song. First one was Ryan Power. I think which is like was a solid move, the whistle. You don't hear that a lot in music anymore.
No,
that
you
used to be a
don't.
thing back in the day.
You know,
All the way down to Guns N' Roses.
So, yeah.
Something like that.
Something like that.
So close. You're so
Almost
close.
nailed it.
You
No
al-
covers.
You're almost perfect. You're
What
almost
was the lyric?
Why was it called 16 Horses?
It felt like just it just kind of fit the rhyme scheme. Honestly,
Okay.
we had a premature fogulation.
Oh no. Oh no.
It's just a bit of fog.
Just a bit of fog. We just you can't see it at home, but there's a little like a puff of fog. A puff of fog.
look at that
Also, hey, a puff of fog.
Great
Puff of
album
fog.
title.
Which
Which
brings us to our next song.
Like we're writing a record together.
Dude, that would be amazing. Please tell me song number 5 is a Puff of Fog. Oh my god, my fucking life would be complete. That'd be it for me.
Puff the magic fog machine.
What is the track of numero cinco? I'm like really stretching the extent of my Spanish right now. I just remember to count. That's about it.
So the next one is definitely one of my favorites. This one's called Texalina.
Texalina?
Mhm.
How do you spell that?
Texalina.
So like it sounds okay.
Mm-hmm.
I feel stupid for asking that. All right.
No, because it could,
I feel
it could have been one of those like Shelley situations where it's like, well, how do you spell it? I'm like, oh, dude, I spell like everybody else spells it. SHELEEIGH.
gets a little crazy.
EQ, duh.
There's a CH in there somewhere.
It's silent.
You never know. All right, over to you for Texalina whenever you're ready.
Carolina boy, she's Texas born and raised. They first met in Austin, both their lives a little crazed. She had a boyfriend, he was drifting apart. The troubled old ex tainted his heart. I'm a Carolina boy, she was Texas born and raised. Life can be a bit crazy, that's the least I can say. But if you feel your heart's broken, you lost your savings in a jam, you dust yourself off, start over again. Both love their whiskey and tequila shots. Hired him at her bar to help out with all. The year had gone by, many memories they made. She was unhappy, few changes she craved. Well, I'm a Carolina boy, she was Texas born and raised. Life can be a bit crazy, that's the least I can say. But if you feel your heart's broken, you lost your savings in a jam, dust yourself off, start over again. A few days later, she'd ended her run with a nice bearded fella she used to call hun. In the following months, a love started to blossom. She wanted him, but he kept playing possum. I'm a Carolina boy, she was Texas born and raised. Life can be a bit crazy, that's the least I can say. But if you feel your heart's broken, you lost your savings in a jam, dust yourself off, start over again. Day they locked eyes, he was done jumping fences. He knew that he loved her, and he came to his senses. They've been together ever since. Things are going real so well. They see each other through all their sickness, all their hell. Well, I'm a Carolina boy, she was Texas born and raised. Life can be a bit crazy, that's the least I can say. But if you feel your heart's broken, you lost your savings in a jam, dust yourself off, start over again. I said, dust yourself off, start over again.
Hell yeah. That's another beautiful song, man. What was that about? Dust yourself off and start over again. What was the genesis of that?
You know, that's, again, it was, you know, coming out of one chapter in my life, in one relationship, and then essentially into another one. That's essentially the story about me and my current partner and how we met. And, you know, sometimes you find love in the most unexpected places. And it was, yeah, everything's just been easy with her, and in a way that's just like, oh, this is great. Like, I have so much space to be me and change and make changes and do all of this, and you know, I just remember. So here's a fun story. So I wrote this song in secret, and then one day I knew, because I was like, all right, they're gonna end up having like a really rough day one day. And then that's when I'm going to be like, hey, you mind listening to something for me? And that's exactly how it went down. And then, like, after, like, the first, like the first verse, because she's from Texas and I'm from Carolina. Obvi. You know, there were tears, and then I won major brownie points. Brownie points are a real thing, and they're very important. But they're not like, you know, they're not. It's kind of like PTO, you know. It's like you can build them up for a year, but they don't carry over. You know.
I never heard a person describe relationship capital that way, but that is that's valid.
I also describe when I'm about to, if I'm gonna say something very dark or this and that, I'm like, look, y'all, I am gonna break it down for you. I'm gonna take you to a dark place, but I promise you, I'm gonna drop you right back off at your car. And kind of one of those senses, because I just have a wacky way of explaining things sometimes.
I get it. It's part of your charm, though. It's a good thing. It would be weird if you had the same delivery as everybody else, then you would be like everybody else. You don't want to do that.
No, don't be like that.
Don't be like that. You would do your own thing.
Be a special boy.
There you go. Which brings us to song number 6.
This one's called Special Boy. It's called Mama's Little Muffin Man.
Mama's Little Muffin Man. Also, in this case, not a good name for an album, I don't think. I feel like Mama's Little Muffin Man. You have to have a very strong following to do that as an album name.
This feels like a challenge accepted moment.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, now it's like
I hope
any
if
band
you've
is
been
like,
writing this
I'm going to go to
down,
Mama's
'cause-
Little Muffin Man for my thing, and that's it.
Oh, how does Shrek always... Shrek has, like, unpaid real estate in my head.
Always.
The Muffin Man?
That's such a great bit.
It really is.
John Lithgow.
If it's got John Lithgow's voice in it,
It's kind of hard to not love it.
I would pay X amount of dollars a month just to have John Lithgow's voice as my GPS voice.
Ooh.
And I think a lot of people would also. You're going to take a slight right turn, Scott.
Well, let me ask you this. Would it be a polite John Lithgow, or would it be or Lithgow? Is it Lithgow? It's Lithgow, right? Not Lithgow? It's Lithgow. Now I'm a fan and I'm butchering it.
I butchered Steve Buscemi's name for years.
Buscemi, yeah.
I lost that face off.
Did you not? A former firefighter, actually. Steve Buscemi.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No,
he was
was.
actually
And
at 9/11.
He still goes back every year to volunteer.
He's an amazing guy. He's a pretty dope person. On a scale from 1 to dope person, he's a dope person.
Come a long way since Con Air.
Oh man, hasn't he? I heard a dog barking. Is that? I don't think that's my dog. My dogs are not barking.
No, your dogs are great.
My dogs are not barking. Not a euphemism for my feet hurting. My actual dogs are also not actually barking. Okay, song number 6. Song number 6. It's a stupid joke I've done on the show before. All right, song number 6.
This next one is called Until It's Over.
Until It's Over, which is an amazing track for the second to last song of the evening. I don't know if you planned that, but that's pretty dope.
For live purposes, yes, I absolutely planned that. It's what I do. I'm a planner.
Hell yeah.
The
All right.
most organized organizer of organizations.
There you go. All right, over to you for Until It's Over whenever you're ready.
Great men inspiring stories, tales of old, victory to failure. Sunsets on the ocean, futures set in motion. What does life have in store for me? What does life have in store for me? There are some things that you just can't see until it's over. taxes levy, the world is heavy. Drug addiction, pain, infliction. Dreams are sometimes rendered fiction. But what does life have in store for me? There are some things that you just can't see until it's over. Until it's over. What does life have in store for me? 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 But what does life have in store for me? There are some things that you just can't see until it's over. Until it's over. Great men inspiring stories, tales of old, from victory to failure. Sunsets on the ocean, future set in motion. What does life have in store for me?
Dude, that's a dope song too. Holy shit! What brought that about? That was a beautiful song, and something I think probably a lot of people can relate to. What does life have in store?
This
for you?
is always the. I actually wrote this song right after watching Lord of the Rings. Everybody's like, "What?" I'm like, "Yeah."
Yeah, that was my reaction.
It was the.
You're like,
great-
what does life have in store with for me now that the trilogy's over? What is what is next?
What do I do now?
What do I binge watch?
More Meatloaf, Mom.
What? Yeah, that came out after Lord of the Rings.
So not like right after the movie came out. When did Lord of the Rings Fellowship of the Ring come out on
I cannot remember.
DVD and Blu-ray?
Google knows, and I'm going to look it up. But keep going. Fellowship of the Ring.
So no, I just been downstairs and I was watching. I went upstairs. I felt inspired. I just remember getting up. I was like, holy crap! I don't think I even watched the whole thing. I think I watched to a certain part. I was like, wow, you know. And you know, when
2001.
nothing else matters when opportunity strikes like that, you know, when the muse is there and it's just like, hey, you need to. I'm like, I have to go and write you.
It's a weird thing, right? Why, when does that, is that, talk about that a little bit, like with your writing process. Like, when does music hit you? Is it right? I mean, clearly after Lord of the Rings, but at what other times does music strike you?
Do you like, you know, to me, the whole thing has been like trying, how do I tap into this? How do I stay? You know, inspiration is everywhere. And that's what's so funny. Like, there's several songwriters that I talk to, or we'll be back and forth, and all of a sudden they'll say something. I'm like, that's a song lyric. I keep wanting to just like, I can't help it. I'm just like, all right, I'm gonna stay back here away from this microphone.
You can do that.
But I wanna slobber on it like a SM58.
I have one. If you want, I can just swap.
No, it's cool. No, this is great. This is.
It's classy. It's a classy mic.
I'm like, I'm just. What is that line? He's like, I'm just an old soul that just prefers takeout over a home cooked meal. Just, what is that? I can't remember. That was from that movie, The Goods. And he's just, you know, he just pulls out like an Arby's sandwich, and it's just like, oh, I'm just one of those rare birds that enjoys fast food over a home cooked meal.
Okay,
you know?
fair enough. Fair enough.
But no, that song is very much about, you know, I think it can even be related to songwriting in the sense that, you know, there are certain songs that we will write little bits of, but I'm like, I don't know how to finish that. I'm not there yet. Like, I'm not there. I can't process the rest of this yet. And, you know, well, relationships, songs, this and that, you know, I'm like, I can't ever leave something wondering, like, what if? You know, like, once I'm in something, I tend to be committed to the whatever end it may. So it's like, you know, it's we can't always see through something. It's, you know, you can't predict all, and sometimes you just have to open the door, walk through it, and, you know, see what's in store for you.
See what's on the other side.
Yeah.
Which is the 7th song.
Which is
See what's on the
which takes us.
Did I get it finally? No.
You nailed it. Actually,
One of these days, man.
I've just got every single song that we joked around about that I'm crossing off my set list. You know, like, I won't give this fella the satisfaction.
Right.
I'm not-
Every fake song title.
I didn't know I was coming over to a wizard's house to do this thing.
I did.
So I didn't tell anybody. I mean, you know.
Oh man. Which is the 7th song, The Wizard's House. No, I want to get this one.
Off to the wizard's house.
Which, by the way, The Wizard's House, great name for an album. I'm just saying. I'm just saying.
I called King Gizzard. It's like, you know, I think like everybody's got that
Who
one.
needs a self-titled album when they can name their title
The Wizard's House.
I feel like that's just like if somebody ever pulls out just like a bunch of, you know, I've got friends that can, you know, they know every single song from every single band that was ever made, and they can pull, oh yeah, 1977, blah blah blah. Oh yeah, my grandfather was blah blah blah. You're like, shit. I want to just be like, oh yeah, have you heard of Wizard's House? Huh? Have you heard of Paper Plates? I don't think so.
Sometimes
Name
Paper
5
Plates.
songs from Wizard's House. You can't. I'll wait. You can't. Sit down.
I love it, man.
Nah,
What is the actual title for the 7th song?
It's called A Wedding Song.
A wedding song?
It's called A Wedding Song.
Okay.
Um,
Before you go any further, where can people find you? I have your description, your stuff in the description, but do you have shows coming up anywhere people can come see you?
yes, absolutely. I'm playing a songwriting competition tomorrow
Hell yeah.
at the Moxie Hotel.
Ooh.
Oh no, we're fancy. I have a feeling it's gonna go from like 4:30 to 8, 4:30 or 5 to 8. And then I am playing following weekend, the 14th and the 15th at Paco's Tacos. I'll be at Sprinkle Valley Austin Beer Works on the 20th, Front Yard Brewing on the 21st, and of course you can find me at Black Star Co-op every Thursday from 7 to 9.
The first, second, and third Thursday.
First, second, and third Thursday. Well, also I do. I still host and run sound for the showcases and
Okay.
at the end of the month as well. So I guess to say I do live music at Black Star Co-op every Thursday night.
Okay.
It's a fun time.
It's a fun time.
It's a fun time.
We have fun.
But not as fun as the wedding song. Or as a wedding song.
This is
sorry.
such a special song.
What do we got to know about it? Tell us the things.
This is my brother's wedding song.
Oh, shit. You wrote this for his
I
wedding?
wrote this, and this was their first dance. Eventually, it will be recorded and
Well, tonight it's being recorded.
and sent off to them. Yeah, it's. I call it my Chester Cheeto song because it's dangerously cheesy. But
Dude.
I.
Oh, my God.
You finally got to get up on the mic.
Yeah, I found my moment, you know? I was waiting for the slow clap moment the entire time, and then it just kind of, when inspiration reaches out, you just have to be there to greet it, right? Whatever. Anyways, yeah, this was, I spent a year, some songs you write in 30 seconds. I spent a year working on this, like writing in lines, getting bored, writing joke lines. And I remember at first I don't want to say that I didn't take it seriously because he's like, dude, we'll pay. I'm like, you're not paying me anything. Like, I don't even know if I can pull this off. But, I have 2 younger brothers and 1 older sister. My siblings mean the world to me. But really, it's me and my brothers against the world. We grew up, we played the same sports. Like, I don't want to say that they like took after me per se. When I grew up, I played soccer my whole life. My brothers played soccer. We were always out going to each other's tournaments, games. I even refereed some of those
Matches?
Yeah, matches. Hey, thank you for the save. It was a lot of fun, and when he asked me, I was just like, what? And at first I kind of thought about, there's like the performer side of me that's just like, I'm going to throw a rap in the middle of this, and it's going to be so clutch. And that's why it's going to be like part disgusted and part like, whoa. And then I remember pitching that, and I could just tell by the stunned silence. And I'm like, I'm kind of getting this vibe from Courtney that she's just like, no. And I'm like, and I felt that hard. I'm like, no, okay, it's cool. I got this, Court. And they're like, well, don't you want to surprise us? And I'm like, no, because then I'd be worrying the whole time if you're gonna like it or not. I was like, look, I'm gonna give you snippets and rough drafts and this and that, and then we're gonna go from there. And yeah, part of the deal was like, y'all can drink your wine and this and that. And I'm gonna ask you some tough questions, and we're gonna get it all out there. I'm gonna write you a beautiful song, and it was great, and it was so well received. Playing this song in front of 200 of our closest friends and family.
Holy shit.
Yeah.
It's a big wedding.
It's a big wedding.
Yeah.
Crowds are one thing, but when everybody knows you.
Yeah.
What's Scott been doing with his entire life? I'm like,
GAD.
I gotta pee.
Yeah.
I gotta go. Cool. So, after no further delay, this is a wedding song. I love you so much, Michael and Courtney. Courtney and Michael and their sons. They just had another son. Baker.
Congratulations.
It's Teddy and Baker.
Big deal.
I know, it's a big deal.
It's a big deal.
I'm the Funkle. When we first met, I wouldn't have bet that we'd end up like this. But now that we're here, things are real clear that I can't help you. You can't help me. No, it won't be easy. I hear it gets pretty hard. When things get rough, we'll stay tough, 'cause broken glass can leave shards. 1 + 1 = 2. You and me makes 3, because together we're better forever. Let's see. We can move to the country and raise a few kids, teach them to do like me and you, the way that our parents did. Where we've been, where we're going, our cups overflowing. Catch a smile, stay a while, that'll be our family. Grow old a while, sit back and smile on what we've learned, what we've earned in our head and our hearts. Looking at you, I know that it's true. I'll say I do, and love you one day at a time. Rest of our lives.
Hell yeah, man. That was beautiful. I could see why they like that song. That was a beautiful song. That was absolutely a beautiful song. Also, Funkle, potentially a great name for an album. I'm going to leave it. Yeah. Is there an album named Funkle? Because I feel like, what if it was the Wizard's House Funkle? Like comma.
Ooh, Funkle
Or
with a K?
parentheses, Funkle.
Is it Funkle with a K?
I mean, I can't imagine
Like-
why you wouldn't do that with a K. You'd have to, don't you? It's just
Should not be with a C.
Funkle with a K.
Funkle with a K. Also a great name for an. All right, I'm done with that. That's done.
He's
Exhausted that
he's
bit.
not done with that.
At least
He'll
for
be
this
back.
evening. At least for this evening. Thank you so much for coming in and sharing your music with us, man. This is really wonderful. I
Thank
really appreciate
you so much for doing what you do and allowing a platform for local artists to just be seen, be heard. This is huge for somebody like me who's, doing a lot. Everybody's doing a lot. It's super helpful to have folks like you out there that just
Thanks, man.
bringing everybody together and helping people get just a little further in the right direction.
That's all we have, man. We have this crazy thing called life, and the community that you can ultimately build. And I always tell people, be the world you want to live in. And so you can complain about shit, or you can try to make it better. So if you have the ability to make it better, choose that instead. Help people out. We all need it. Everybody needs it. So thank you again for coming on, sharing your music. I sincerely appreciate it. Thank you for Nicole again for coming back and sharing your amazing fiddle, your fiddle talents. We got to get you back on as well with your full band. I would love to do that.
Yeah.
We got to do that soon. And thank you guys so much for watching, whether you do it live or after the fact. I sincerely appreciate it. Click like, click subscribe. I always forget to say that, but be sure to check us out for another episode of Local Sets ATX. We will see you on the internet. Good night, everybody.
Woo!
Thank you guys again for doing this.
Absolutely.
Hell yeah. And it's like 37 degrees right now.
very-
It's so
Oh, yeah, I
cold.
feel
I'm
it.
putting my hand.
No, I know. There's like